The Tale of Wild Men and Wood Boogers. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, stories whispered on the wind spoke of mysterious beings hidden deep within the ancient forests. Locals called them wild men, feral wanderers with untamed beards and eyes as sharp as a hawk's. But more fearsome still were the wood boogers, legendary creatures larger than any man, covered in thick hair, blending seamlessly with the shadowy woodlands. No one knew for sure if these tales were just folklore or a glimpse into a forgotten truth. Children growing up in the mountain hollows were warned not to stray too far after dark, lest the wood boogers catch sight of them and carry them off into the trees. The Forest Encounter. One autumn, when the leaves blazed red and gold, a young hiker named Jake ventured alone into the wilderness, drawn by tales of hidden glades and uncharted trails. Armed with a camera and journal, he planned to document his journey and maybe capture proof of these elusive creatures, if they even existed. By the third day, deep in the woods where no road or trail remained, Jake felt an eerie presence. The usual chirping of birds had silenced, and the rustle of leaves in the wind felt more like whispers than nature's song. He pressed on, more curious than afraid. As dusk crept in, Jake stumbled upon a strange clearing. In the center, a massive stone circle stood, weathered by time and covered in ancient carvings. The air crackled with energy, as if the forest itself held its breath. Then, from the shadows emerged a figure, tall and muscular with tangled hair and a beard streaked with leaves, a wild man. His piercing gaze locked onto Jake. Before Jake could react, another presence loomed behind him. A hulking form, 7 feet tall, covered in matted fur, stepped silently into the clearing. It was unmistakably a wood booger. A test of courage. Jake knew fear, but steadied himself. "I mean no harm," he called out, raising his hands in peace. The wild man inclined his head as if understanding, but the wood booger remained motionless, its dark eyes unreadable. Minutes felt like hours. Then the wild man spoke in a voice rough like tree bark. "You seek stories?" Jake nodded. "You find truth." Before Jake could ask what that meant, the wood booger gave a guttural sound, deep and resonant, like a drumbeat echoing through the forest. Slowly, both figures retreated into the dark woods, fading into shadow until nothing remained but the rustle of leaves and the fading light of dusk. The return home. When Jake returned to civilization, he carried with him more than photographs or scribbled notes. He bore witness to a mystery still alive in the mountains. Though few believed his tale, others with knowing smiles simply nodded. "The wild men and wood boogers don't show themselves to just anyone," an elder whispered to Jake one evening. "You must have the heart of the woods in you." Jake never spoke of the incident again, but every autumn he disappeared into the mountains searching for the truth that danced just beyond the edge of legend, where wild men walked and wood boogers watched from the shadows. Some say he became one with the forest. Others believe he was simply called home by the ancient guardians of the wild. But one thing was certain. Once you encountered the spirit of the Appalachian woods, you were never the same. Thanks for listening to the Cosmic Radio Podcast. Your host, Asher Knight. Good night.